whole story, but this is what we had. We had, like, if you look at Hegseth, Bondi, Kash Patel, like, these are not intelligent people. The only pick he had that you could get excited about as someone that actually knows a thing or two was Matt Gaetz. But I think they did him dirty.
Very dirty.
What they did, I'll explain this real quick. What they did to Matt Gaetz was, in order, he has to leave his congressional seat so he can join the cabinet. So he does. Once he's gone, suddenly the ethics committee decides to reinvestigate something they already investigated that he had already been cleared of, concerning accusations of sexual impropriety. And then suddenly it's leaked out what the accusations were about Matt Gaetz. It wasn't leaked what the conclusions were of the investigations as accusations, which was that he was innocent. These women admitted they lied. Joel Greenberg's the guy that was actually guilty of all the things they accused Matt Gaetz of. I explained that story with actually with Andrew Tate. It was one of the best videos I ever did on it. But I did a sting on Joel Greenberg on Substack because it's like movie level debauchery with this character. It really should be huge news. It's super interesting in the Florida politics and just all the honey traps and just it's
faking IDs. Using the city to mine Bitcoin. Just like stereotypical.
It was so trashy. At one point, he had these remote sprinklers set up that he would aim at people to spray walking near the sidewalk. Just so that's how immature these people are.
Yeah.
But he was renting out houses and he was paying off all these teenagers and stuff. He's like, here's $700 for ice cream. Ha ha ha. Like, that's not. He ended up with 33 felonies. 33 felonies, which included human trafficking, rape, all the things they accused Tate of doing. Joel Greenberg actually did, but they did Matt Gaetz dirty. He loses his seat, and then they never found out who leaked this. This is the ethics committee. This is in Congress, right? Oh yeah. So all the accusations and even everything with Joel Greenberg, every single report, anyone can use Google. It says Matt Gaetz' friend Joel Greenberg, blah blah. Matt Gaetz associate, Matt Gaetz, like everything, like whatever Greenberg did, they just threw his name in there because you knew this person, so you're guilty too. Right. But he would have been great. But yeah,
so he's come out against this idea of war with Iran. Tucker Carlson, there's this huge.
Matt Gaetz brought up the Epstein blackmail ring, and Tucker's hinted at it. Tucker's hinted at JFK. I think he knows. I think he knows the Israelis killed JFK. I think he knows.
Yeah, it seems that way. And there's this major rift right now in MAGA. I want to know what you think about it. It's perfect. Studio Reiner again asks, what is the real anti-war sentiment coming from? Is it due to financial risks? Tucker is CIA and he opposes war while Ted Cruz is APAC. All of a sudden the CIA opposes war. So
well, I'll tell you, with Tucker used to be a Go Bomber Ran glass parking lot kind of ninny too. When he was with CNN, he had a show Crosstalk, and he was all like, "Oh, I don't care if they bomb Iran." Blah blah. His dad was in intelligence. They gave him some insight, but Tucker has had a slow transformation, and I would pin it back down. If you remember the Ron Paul movement.
Yeah.
There was a video, I remember seeing it. I can never find it anymore, but I remember Ron Paul, they'd have these conventions, and there was the Taxed Enough Already Tea Party, which got taken over by kooks, but originally it was a Ron Paul Taxed Enough Already thing. There's even a video of Ron Paul throwing a crate over, like mimicking a mock Boston Tea Party, which, by the way, was against the East India Tea Company, which was the BlackRock of the day back then. But anyway, Tucker said his son, like, kept nagging him to go and talk to these Ron Paul people. And Tucker was one of the only people that would go to the Ron Paul events and say, well, what's this all about? And he was completely skeptical and total, like, CNN, Fox News kind of brat at the time. But you could see the seeds planted there. And I think he has a brother who got based as well. So people in his family, fortunately, got to him saying, listen, this is what's up. And it had to be a huge wake-up call. I think Jan 6 and COVID really got to him because he saw through that and said so on air. And he had the highest-rated cable news show not only on Fox, but period. And they got rid of him. If this is all about profiteering, right? I hear this all the yeah. Well, why would you get rid of the show that's bringing in the most money, that has the highest ratings? Because he's not saying what the Israelis want him to say. He was going against the script. And they didn't like him mouthing off about Jan 6. They didn't like him talking about election fraud possibilities, just possibilities. They didn't like him talking about a nuanced view on the COVID hysteria. And so they just fired him. And they did, like Tucker Carlson. Like, why are you getting rid of Tucker Carlson? It's clearly because of his political stance. It wasn't because of his job. He was making money for the company. He had the highest rated show. They got rid of him. That was a huge wake-up call for him. And so then he ends up interviewing pariahs like Andrew and Tristan Tate. It was one of his first interviews as not being on network, right? He's on X, Elon Musk, and then Jeffrey Sachs. And it just kept getting better, right? Like his guest list of people you need to talk to who deserve airtime and never get it. He keeps going down that string of pearls. And you've seen a slow transformation of Tucker that was like the bomb Iran guy to what are we doing? And, Israel's the only one that actually has nuclear weapons.
Candace Owens, same thing. I mean, the Zionists have been mocking her and trolling her, and they're like, look, this is what you said about Iran a couple of years ago.
She used to be full-on Christian Zionist idiot that, with the Daily Liar. And I think for her, just seeing all the dead children in Palestine, just as a decent human being, which she was like, wait, what are we doing? We can't do this. Yeah. And from there, she starts talking to the noticing ones, and she kind of got over red pilled, actually, because she did latch on to some things that aren't right, but she's coming that direction. And she left at the Daily Liar, and she won. Like they lost a lot, and their business is in the shitter. And Benasside Shapiro can't hold it together. I think Matt Walsh is starting to go that way too, realizing like, yeah, it's
a sinking ship at this point.
You just can't. Yeah, it's an indefensible position to bomb hospitals over and over and shoot food trucks. Like that's just, come on. You can't, and you cannot look at Gaza. Just look at a drone footage and say, there's a tunnel under every house. Get bent, man. Like it's ethnic cleansing. It always has been. That's always been their goal for Greater Israel.